Hello, welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with your friends, get your gaming goodness each and every Monday. My name's John Black. Joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
You know, I'm excited to be here. Another week of stuff.
Another dollar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No. You're just in a bad mood because you're being locked down.
That's true, yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not even a joke. It's just like, fair enough.
It's just sad, yeah. I mean, me and just like half the country, so.
God. Hey, you're right up there. Kieran, did it creep up into the forests or no?
No, it doesn't go anywhere near us. It's just, it stays in Melbourne where...
No, but they lock down the entire state, don't they?
They lock down the entire state, yeah.
Then the people in the suburbs, like, yeah.
Everywhere else is like,
you're like, rural Victoria's like, yeah, it's a lockdown, but we'll move around freely. It's not, none of it's over here. It's all those Melburnians making out the city, spreading the COVID all over the place.
It's all the super spreaders and stuff. And anyway, I thought I got the idea after last week's triumphant victory for Playdate. We were going to go through a rebranding this week to Arcade Playdate.
That's not a very good name.
If they send me one for free, we'll change the podcast then.
Wow.
Hashtag willingly sold out.
More like preemptively sold out.
I acknowledge that I'm selling out. That's what it is.
I mean, wouldn't a better name would be Play Date Couch?
Nah,
to swap out the arcade.
Sounds like a shitty pornography, to be honest.
The thing is, right, you could have a play date in an arcade. You're not going to have a play date on the couch. That does sound like shitty pornography.
That's true. Arcade play date. That does sound better, yeah.
Wait. We could, a throwback name could be Pleasure Play Date.
Bringing it back.
Oh, shit.
Ash has always known it was never
bring it back
forever.
in 69 episodes. Out of retirement.
Yeah. It was never dead. It was just retired. That was the thing, yeah.
It's just lurking in the depths of your memories.
Today on the show, Fall Guys Season 5 impressions. Pokemon Go players are upset. PUBG rebrands. Ariana Grande in Fortnite. But let's start with Back 4 Blood impressions. So it was supposed to be all of us being able to talk about it. Unfortunately, we got sent 4 codes. 2 of those work. So,
don't know why you guys are gonna fuck me like this.
It's beyond me.
Ash like secretly is just like, because I literally like go for my lunch break at work and I open the chat and it's just like, the codes are fucked. They're not working for me. I'm like, right, well, I activated mine at like 6 a.m. and then like sent a message and then went to work and I come back and now it's like Ash has got his working, but the rest are fucked somehow. So I don't know if I was going to blame anyone. It would.
Ashley sold the codes.
Yeah. He sold them all.
I wish I'd been smart enough to do that. Yeah.
Ashley sold the codes.
I don't know how much you could sell Back 4 Blood beta code for, but.
Beta codes that last 1 weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there are some stupid people out there.
People would 100% pay for that. Or people would have played for like Halo ones, probably. Maybe not Back 4 Blood, but
yeah. No, but at least, I'm happy that you got to play Back 4 Blood instead of Buddy getting paid for playing Back to Blood, considering he's never played Left 4 Dead or anything. Actually, have you at least played Left 4 Dead?
No.
You're fucking kidding me.
Why are you surprised? It's a game involving zombies.
Yeah. It was an Xbox PC game involving zombies. Like, I don't know I don't know why this is surprising at all.
I just took it for granted that everybody played Left 4 Dead.
No, well, hashtag real gamers did. So the game is, for people who don't know, Back 4 Blood is from the people that brought you Left 4 Dead, or some of them, and Evolve comes Left 4 Dead. I mean, Back 4 Blood. I mean, they're not even really playing.
A lot of words and numbers.
Yeah, they're not really even playing. The title sounds like Left 4 Dead because it's obviously a spiritual successor. And let me put it this way. The one good thing and the one bad thing about this game is that it is a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. So it plays like an updated version. It's got everything the same. And it was fun enough, but it's also just like if that sounds like a game concept that's like 10 years old, and this this game isn't really doing too much to, I guess, build upon the original concept of said game, which is simple. It's 4-player co-op. You play 3 levels. You kill... they're not zombies in the game. Well, there are like zombie things, but then there's like other things. I can't remember what the fuck they're called, to be honest, but bigger monster type things that come down. You kill them. You battle your way through. It's like witches, I guess, in normal Left 4 Dead. You know, like non sort of zombie things, witches and stuff. But most levels play out as linear, walk through an area, try to survive. Eventually you'll reach a point at least once or twice in a level, much like you would in Left 4 Dead games, where it's like, oh, you got to get this like fence down, but when you do that, it'll activate the horde. And then like, you know, you've got to stand there for like a minute or so while you have to fight off like, you know, a bunch of zombies that come for you, etc., etc., etc. At the start of each level, you have a shop that you can access, and you get like coins as you play through levels, and you can use that to buy different guns or like grenades or defibrillators, ammo packs, health packs, scopes, upgraded things to your weapon. If you like it, you can just upgrade it and you can keep using it. You pick, when you start a level, you pick one of, I think there's going to be like 8 characters in the full game. There's only like 4, I think, in the beta. Each one of them has a name. Each one of them has their own perk and a team perk as well. So you can, they all play slightly different. They all talk and interact with one another while you're playing. They have some sort of relationship and story playing in the background. Like I was playing mostly as Mama, and you know, like you accidentally shoot your teammate. It's like the other character, like, "Hey, Mama, why'd you do that? You know, like why'd you shoot me like that?" or some shit like that. So there is like a little bit of personality injected to it and whatnot. But otherwise, it is just these linear levels where you're fighting the zombies and you're shooting them and all that sort of stuff. Then the only other thing that changes things up is you have this, what I thought was quite confusing at first, card deck thing that you have. So when you start the game, you you unlock more cards as you play the game, but you can create a deck that you can either take into PvE or PvP, and you choose cards to unlock, or you'll randomly unlock them as you play through levels. And like if you're playing through the game from like Act 1 from start to finish, each time you reach an end of a level, at the start of the next level, you unlock a new card. And the cards are like plus 30% reload speed, or there's team ones that like your team heals when they melee kill 1%, or you've got increased life, or hitting enemies' weak spots do more.
Free stamina, yeah.
Stuff like this. And then the game also randomly gives you they're not negative cards, but it's like each time you load into a level, it's like a bonus objective card. So it'll be like, beat the level without anyone dying, beat the level without ever setting off the fucking crows, which I set off literally every single time we played a level with crows in them, because I can never spot where the fucking crows are and I hate them. Or like random shit like this, or beat a level without, I don't know, like using a gun or something like that. And of course they'll give
without being revived or something.
Yeah, all these sorts of things. So you get like bonus objectives and stuff.
There are also ones that make it more difficult. Like they're called corruption cards. One of them lets you like put a mist through the entire level. Another one I think makes hordes attack more often and that kind of thing. So I think that's something that but then you get rewards at the end of the level, obviously, if you complete it. So
yeah.
It seems that from what I've seen of it, because I have to live vicariously through other people.
It's the best way.
It definitely has. I feel like it. I feel like it has more opportunities for quote unquote stealthing through sections rather than just Left 4 Dead was very much a hold W through the missions and just hope for the best a lot of the times, where there has been sections where it seems like people are being more tactical with their movement and stuff like that. Is that?
I mean, I think it is an option. It's just that you would probably never be able to do it unless you were playing with a 4-man pre-made where you were communicating that was something you actually wanted to do. Otherwise, it only takes one person to completely fuck it up, I guess.
Yes. No, that makes sense.
But yeah, there's a little bit more options, I guess. There are like silencers and suppressors and stuff like that. So, but I think most people are just going to want to play it like it is Left 4 Dead, which is just you know, like all the weak zombie-like enemies, basically, I think every gun in the game, much like Left 4 Dead, will just kill them in one shot to the head.
Yeah. One headshot, yeah.
Maybe 2 to the body, that sort of thing kills them, but it's pretty straightforward otherwise. The levels, or at least because obviously it's the beta, it lets you play up to the end of Act 1. I think me and Ash decided last night we'd done every level bar the last one on Act 1. Was trying to do it, we like loaded into a game with 2 other people doing it, and then we died like 2 times or something, 2 or 3 times with them trying to get this last level or whatever. And I was like, fuck this shit, let's go try something else. And we never went back to that one. But so I don't know how many acts. I presume it's like a 3-act story, but I don't know if each act is longer or whatever. But I presume the story's not that long because much like Left 4 Dead, it's designed around replayability.
Well, I guess
it's hard to say because we were doing another mode and there seemed to be like the levels had like 5-6 or something. So there might be like that many acts potentially.
Could be. I'm not actually sure, yeah.
Well, it's only like I guess because Left 4 Dead had different quote unquote movies that you would play through or journeys. I can't remember exactly what they were called. But it was like a different kind of, and each of them had like a different, like almost movie style poster to bring them to rotate around. So unless they follow that same kind of thing, and maybe it would make sense if the game has the ambition to release more of them over time.
Oh, for sure.
Instead of release,
it's going to release more for sure. 100%. That's 21st century. It's going to release like expansion, and you can already tell with the characters and the cards and all that sort of stuff. It's just prime for here's some new cards. Here's some new.
Do you think it's going to be expansion, or do you just think it's going to be just regular content drops?
Both. So you do some free shit where it's like cards or something like that, and then you make people pay for here's a like 6 new levels, or like I don't know, something that's more substantial and people pay for it, obviously. And then the other thing to touch on, which I think is, I'll put it out straight away. I think it's the worst part of the game. I tried it some more about Ash today, and I still don't think it's very good. So they have a PvE mode. I just think it is a mess.
PvP.
I was going to say PvP, right? Not PvE.
Yeah, PvP mode, which works like this. It's 3 rounds, 3 rounds. So you start as either the humans, or you are playing as the monster zombies, right?
The Ridden, yeah.
The Ridden, that's it. Yeah, there we go. When you're playing as the humans, it's 3v3. You load into like this small area.
Is it 4? I feel like at least the first one we fought.
Oh, it is 4. Yeah, no, it is 4. That makes more sense. It is actually. It's 4v4. You load into this like area, and it's like surrounded with. It's almost like you're playing a battle royale, like a mini battle royale, but it's not really. It's just it has a circle that moves in over time. So you start as a human, you can run around and open crates, and you sort of like set up defenses. It has like a countdown timer. And when you're playing as the Ridden, you pick the monster you want to play and this sort of thing. And while you're moving around the level, and you can see what all the humans are doing. You can be following them around. They can't see you. You can watch them like sort of plant traps and do all this sort of stuff. Off you go. They'll like set up shop. And the goal is they've got to see how long they can survive, and you got to try and kill them fast if you're playing the Ridden, obviously. So let's say it takes you 1:30 for the humans to die. That's their time. You now switch sides. You're now playing the humans. To beat them and win the round, you only have to get to 1:31. At that stage, the game goes, cool, you've won that round. It's not like survive as long as you can. It's just you won that round. So then you'll play as the humans again the next time, and you have to set the goalposts, I guess, of the time and go for it. So me and Ash, for a start, we kept like loading into the games and having really unbalanced teams. And I don't know why it was really letting us happen. They have bots that play in the PvE mode. And honestly, I was even like, man, even a bot would be better than fucking no one, because we're getting stuck 2v4 and shit like this. I'm like, this is just dumb. Like, you get absolutely destroyed. It's not even, it's impossible to even attempt to take on 2v4 in this mode when you've got like 4 monsters coming at you, and they have AI zombies spawn as well each wave as the circle gets smaller, and you just got to try and survive and stuff like that. Fucking dumb. Anyway, I played some more by myself. I just don't think I just really don't think there's enough tactics, or like, and just feels so drawn out, and it takes so long to sort of get into it as well. Even especially if you're playing as a Ridden, you're just sort of like floating around. There's nothing you can do while the humans are setting up. You're just like, you can watch them, but you're like, what am I actually really doing it. And none of the monsters feel that great to play as, I found, either, and whatever else. And then even when the ones I played today, I discovered the best tactic just seemed to be to, because obviously you get like upgrade points as you play for damaging the humans. It gives you like coins that you can spend to upgrade your monster so it does more damage or it has more health and stuff like that. And I was like, no, fuck that shit. I just kept putting all my coins into upgrading the AI zombies so more would spawn each time the wave came in, because you could spend coins on that. And I'm like, well, that just seems to be a much easier tactic. So I'm not too hot about the PvP. I don't know how you felt about it, Ash.
No, yeah, it felt long. Like we didn't complete an actual match.
No.
Like we played a round or two, but we never like went through the entire thing, either from us jumping out or the other team jumping out because it was taking too long. You know, it just didn't. It's not snappy or anything. It just feels like it's a bit of a slog to get through. So, it didn't help that we kind of sucked and got smashed every single time. So, but yeah, that's not a mode that I would be jumping into unless I had like 4 other people with me. I feel like, you know, full squad playing.
Full squad, yeah. But even then, I'm like, it's just too slow, I think so.
Yeah, unless there was some material rewards for playing it, I don't think there's much reason to jump into it.
Have you looked at any of this PvP stuff, Kieran?
I haven't gone too far into the PvP stuff just because it doesn't really interest me. I thought the PvP in Left 4 Dead was already like a cool idea. I think I preferred that version of the PvP because it was more like you were both given a level and it was to see who could go furthest in the level. Like, even if you made it in you only survive 1 minute 30, the other team could play as long as they can survive. But it sounds like it's probably balancing, and I guess it's a good thing that this game's coming out with a beta, so that there is going to be hopefully this stuff of balancing and this kind of just the more basic stuff of these kinds of games can be fixed really easily. It's odd a little bit that they've overlooked some of this kind of stuff with, like, you know, balancing the PvP mode, but no, I still think Back 4 Blood's got a lot of potential, a lot of fun, and it's coming out, you know, it's going to be available in a lot more places than Left 4 Dead ever was, so we won't get you people like Ashley or Buddy that have no idea of like a really great game.
It's on Game Pass, right?
Yeah, on Game Pass. What a bargain. Don't listen to people like who was it? Fucking the CEO of Take-Two this week that was like, Game Pass isn't worth it. It's like, well, yes, because you're Rockstar and Take-Two. Get over it.
I think I missed that.
I'm surprised Ashley didn't bring that one up.
No, I missed that as well.
I don't need other people justifying my opinions.
Wow.
Because you know those shitty takes.
I don't need other people being right as well. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're right.
But I guess, like, overall, it is. I feel like you should know if you'd like this game or not. Or also, like, this game is not going to be as much fun by yourself. It's 100% like Left 4 Dead, because, like, I played Left 4 Dead at my friend's place who had an Xbox. I used to sit on the couch and play that shit split screen co-op, right? I never had an urge to buy an Xbox to play Left 4 Dead by myself, because I wasn't like, I need to experience this by myself. No, it's just fond memories of playing it co-op. So Back 4 Blood's just going to be the same thing. Like, if you don't think you'd play it with other people and you want to like pair up with randoms online, I don't really think that's going to do much for you. But if you can at least if you can get the full squad, 4 people, and it is like the perfect game where, because it is just mindless shooting and whatever else, and you can just chat and shit talk while you're shooting zombies and have fun. Like, that's literally what the game is designed to be. It's just designed to be a fun co-op game. So,
yeah, no, it's very much is that in many ways. I think, yeah, it's definitely. A lot of people are like, oh no, I could totally play it by myself. And you can, I just don't think you're going to have the same experience.
No, you're not going to have as much fun.
No.
Once again, in a lot of these games, like Left 4 Dead, like your... can't even remember that monster game that came out after it kind of... I can't even remember what it was called, but... you know, it isn't exactly the game that makes the best experiences in makes the memories. It's generally playing it with people and enjoying it together.
Yeah.
That makes the game a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Yep. Find out. When's that? Next month? No. Yeah, we're in August, September.
Well, there's an open beta from, I believe, the 12th to the 16th. So
there you go.
People want to test it out then. Yeah. And then, the game obviously comes out here a second ago. October 12th.
October. Oh, fuck. I thought it was September. Maybe they delayed it. Let's get into some news for this week.
Ooh, in time for some news.
Some news. Even though there wasn't that much, to be honest. But let's start with Ariana Grande. Rockstar World and Epic Fortnite concert.
Wait, Dylan, this is a video game podcast. Or a music podcast.
Well, look, I didn't want to discriminate. And because we covered Travis Barker, I thought we should cover Ariana Grande as well. Because in case you don't remember, nearly a year ago, everyone, or it was like a bit over a year ago, was on here talking about goddamn Epic Games, Fortnite doing Travis Barker concert. Now we're back here to talk about Ariana Grande. So Push Square writes, Epic Games has once again proven just how far ahead of anyone else it is in the live event space with a truly memorable Fortnite concert all about pop star Ariana Grande. Much Travis Scott's in-game gig, players could watch the event and walk about the area and play while the position singer put on a real show. By the way, I just realized I said Travis Barker before when I meant Travis Scott. But
I was like, when you said Travis Barker, I was like, hang on a minute.
It's just solo.
It's just a Blink 182.
Yeah, it's just a Blink 182. Like Blink one. It's just him drumming. Like there's no actual music. It's just a fucking drum show.
No other.
It's just nothing. It's just him drumming in a fucking empty space in Fortnite for like 15 minutes, and then you can't do anything. That's it. There's no songs. It's just him fucking like freestyle drumming. That's it. Yeah. There we go. Good meme. They continue. What was even cooler about this particular event was that a few mini games introduced the event with a Mario Kart-esque race saloming players through paint while others another task friends with getting a high score while shooting crystals out of a plane. Then the pop star took center stage, singing hits such as Seven Rings, or why players could move freely around and dance alongside her. I was tempted to do it. I think I would have any other day. So they had the first one on. So we're recording this on Saturday. They had the first one on this morning at it was 8 a.m. They had the first showing, and I was tempted, but I was like, "No, I'm too fucking tired. Can't bother." And the next one's at like 4 a.m. Tomorrow morning, and there's like. I'm not waking up. I got work tomorrow. And so I don't think I'm going to do this. So I watched the video. I just watched this YouTube video I have up right now. So I'm posted the whole thing. No commentary or anything like that. So I did watch it all. Again, it is just... Fortnite is a dumb video game. I really don't understand what... It's like...
It's no longer just a video game, though, is it really? It's now like a whole... I don't know, an experience, a fucking... It's something.
It's like, but yeah, they just continue to do these things and they're just insane. There's really, and the thing is also, I'm like, they're not really building towards doing something else. They don't want to be like, oh, this is all, we're building this other social experience app where we're going to move this stuff. Like, they're very much happy to be like, no, Fortnite's just everything now. Like, because I don't know, Fortnite's weird. I don't understand. It's like such a anomaly in the world of like what things are. But I mean, it's cool. I do enjoy these things. They're fun to.
Is the thing is, right? Is Fortnite slowly becoming less about the game and more about these experiences?
Well, I
just
don't know.
as a whole, because the only time anymore I hear about Fortnite is when something like this comes out. And yes, that could just be an indication of my personal bubbles and like my spheres that I consume content in. But, you know, there was a point, maybe 6 to 12 months ago where Fortnite was doing everything. There was common regular releases and all different stuff. And, you know, Marvel was in the MCU and Star Wars was in the MCU. Marvel was in Fortnite. Star Wars is in Fortnite.
Yeah, now
DC's in Fortnite. I feel like now it's just, we're getting to the point where it's just mainly focused on these like kind of one-off events is the only time I hear about Fortnite anymore.
They don't do that often, to be fair. Like, this is the second concert one they've done.
No, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying it's like, it's the only time I hear about this game anymore is these concerts, which, if it's not very often, then I'm not hearing about the game very often at all.
Well, I know, like, big streamers still stream it, right? So...
It's still massive.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's still massive. Like, it's still... I'm not saying it's not making money. No, I'm not saying it's not making money. It just seems like it is from within, like, the kind of... I don't want to say the media circuit, but in terms of general kind of thought share that it has, it seems to be lessening off than what it was.
It's working because I can guarantee that a bunch of Ariana Grande super fans were like, I'm making a Fortnite account. Like, it's...
They all bought the Ariana Grande skins.
Yep.
Also, I appreciate Ariana Grande at the end here looking like a fun Kingdom Hearts villain at the end.
In the cloud section thing or whatever.
No, yeah, like towards the very end of the video.
Yeah. It's weird. And a bunch of those things do look like Kingdom Hearts minigames at the start, where they're like they're in like a plane shooting stuff down. You get teamed up with people, and it even gives you a high score who shot the most and stuff like that. It's like seems like a gummy ship minigame or something.
Oh god, gummy ship.
Everybody loves the gummy ship.
All right, peace. Eurogamer writes, PUBG is called PUBG Battlegrounds now, I guess. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is a bit of a mouthful, but at least the game has a handy acronym of PUBG to make things a bit simpler. What's that? They've tacked an extra bit onto the end. Oh, it appears that Krafton has rebranded PUBG to PUBG Battlegrounds, with the new name now appearing on the game's social media feeds and Steam. That's right. It's now called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It's so dumb. It's good. It's like our game's called PUBG. It literally stands for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Let's call it Battlegrounds.
It's no longer an accurate.
It's no longer an accurate. Well, it is still.
It's just PUBG. PUBG's PUBG, you know. Get over it, kid.
They should drop the G, and so now it's. But then PlayerUnknown.
Just
PlayerUnknown.
I'm just gonna play pub, guys.
So the logo should now just have PU.
PU. That's a hell of a stench coming over there.
Not wrong. We're talking, what game we're talking about. This has apparently happened sometime in July and appears to have something to do with Krafton's plans to create a PUBG universe. Quote, Krafton is actively expanding the PUBG brand for a variety of new experiences set in its universe, the company told PC Gamer. Rebranding PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds to PUBG Battlegrounds is the first step in us realizing this vision. Additional titles in the franchise will carry the PUBG name, as you see with our upcoming game, PUBG New State. New State, by the way, is an upcoming mobile game that's essentially a futuristic sequel to PUBG Mobile. There's also been talk of an upcoming PUBG Universe game codenamed Project Cowboy, while space horror game The Callisto Protocol will somehow be part of the same universe. That one doesn't have the PUBG acronym planted in front of it yet, however. Now, what the fuck is going on with all this PUBG shit? It's so dumb. No one cares. Does anyone, like, I know it was just like, well, man, like, Fortnite isn't as popular anymore. I don't know.
Well, I presume that PUBG was just overall dead.
Yeah.
Other than, like, seeing, like, the odd esports post about, like, you know, it's still massive in, like, Southeast Asia and stuff like that, but at least in the Western gaming scene, I don't see anything about it anymore.
No, it's definitely... Yeah, it's just fallen off a cliff.
Well, as they
PUBG came along, Fortnite came along and stole its spaghetti. Let's be honest.
Well, you mentioned that, but I like here they link another article, Eurogamer one. They're like, ever heard of Blackpink? If not, a lot of people sure have. The band was the first K-pop girl group to reach 1 billion views on YouTube, and they're currently the most subscribed to music group on the platform. And now the group is coming to PUBG with their very own crossover event. It's happening 18th of August to 7th of September. Players will be able to participate in special in-game event missions and earn points to acquire Blackpink-themed items. So yeah, coming back to where is it popular, a K-pop girl group is coming to the game.
Didn't it get invested into by, like, isn't the main company now that works on PUBG now based in South Korea?
Yeah.
Like, I think like the actual development of PlayerUnknown is now a South Korean game.
Yeah.
So that makes complete sense.
It's not even free though. It costs money.
Look, all I can say is being involved in this game is no chicken nugget meal deal at McDonald's, you know? Like, it's real it's two separate things.
Good one. Moving on.
Wow, none of you are BTS fans here.
Yes.
No, I couldn't remember what the name was.
That's fine.
I was tempted to buy it when I was at McDonald's once, and I was like, I don't know. That sounds like something that'll hurt my stomach. Plus,
no, as soon as you buy it, you get involved in a cult. That's the whole thing.
That's a cult? Oh,
yeah, BTS
I thought
is a
Final
cult.
Fantasy Online was cult.
No.
I mean, they're both
it's
cults.
BTS that's the cult.
BTS is the cult. There we go.
I missed the memo.
There's not only one thing can be a cult.
That's a good point, Ash. You know, all cults are equal.
Yeah. There's
Even if it's a cult about bashing on Xbox Game Pass, you know, still a cult.
no, that's not a cult. That's a movement.
Who's part of your movement? That was such a quick response. It's like his brain didn't even tick over. It's a movement, everyone. It's a movement.
Fuck's sake.
Let's take to the streets. You marching down, there's anti-COVID people next to you. Let us out! Let us out! Ash is like, fuck Game Pass! Are you here to stop the lockdown? No, I'm here to stop Game Pass, cunt.
The real scourge on society.
Oh my god.
Fuck you, Gladys.
Xbox only wants your Game Pass so they can track your gaming. So they can put 5G into controllers.
There you go, you've got it. You've just looped a cult into your cult. Sorry, a cult into your
so
movement.
I can double.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get more traction now.
Yeah, that's how they
Just
work.
include 5G and anything, and you're all good. Yeah.
Got him. Karen looks.
Oh shit!
Bill Gates is behind both, so yeah.
This is one of those moments where I look at Kieran. The look on his face was, "The fuck am I wasting my time doing this shit?"
Just Ashley just starts. Ashley starts like he is a runaway train. He just starts, and sometimes you're like, is he slowing down? Then you realize, no, he's just reached the top of the hill, and it just descends down very quickly after that point.
Gravity. Part of a cult, probably. Games industry rights. Focus Home Interactive acquires. I could never remember how to pronounce this studio's publish it. Dotemu. Don't know. People that did Streets of Rage 4. We'll get there. Focus Home Interactive has announced that they've acquired Streets of Rage 4 publisher Dotemu. Focus purchased 77.5% of France-based company shares for £38.5 million or something like that, because I can never remember which one of the fucking symbols is pounds and which one's euros.
If it's an E, it's euros. If it doesn't look like an E, it's a pound.
It is euros.
I think it's euros. What's the pounds one look like then?
The pound looks like an L.
No, pounds is like a 3.
Oh no, this could
or
be
like
a 3.
A capital. Yeah, it looks like it's. Oh.
You know what I reckon?
No.
European currency. Cult.
Oh fuck.
It's been 5G. Free notes. That's the plot of The Division. 38.5 million euros as it aims to expand its game development assets. The deal also includes an additional payment up to 15 million euros, which will be based on certain employment and performance goals, making the potential payout up to 53.5 million euros. Focus Home Interactive CEO Christopher Nobilu said the rival.
You were going to say Christopher Nolan then.
I nearly did, actually. He said the rival of Dotemu makes a key step in acceleration of the group's growth and its diversification of its expertise. They are enriching our editorial line. We're opening a new revenue stream and market share to conquer its fast-growing sector. Honestly, I thought this was a lot of money for. I don't know. Maybe it's not. But I was like, a potential payout of $53.5 million for a team that has been doing relatively just like small arcadey games. Like the next one they have coming out is that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one that we've talked about on here at least once.
That game does look like money, though. That looks like it's going to be... It's cashing in, you know?
What was that
preemptively buying...
Shredder's Revenge, that's it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. They've also got Metal Slug Tactics as well. They're obviously doing as well. But yeah, you look at their catalog, it's not exactly massive IPs or anything. It looks like a lot of contract work that they've done.
That's all they did in the past, I believe. Like just...
So, yeah, it's interesting. That's a lot of money, especially when you put it in perspective. Their Focus bought Deck 13 back in
for less, right?
2020, $7.1 million. So, the company behind Surge and Lord of the Fallens and that kind of stuff. So,
yeah,
it's interesting.
What I take away from this is I know nothing about video game industry.
Yeah.
Well, at least how much companies are worth, because fucked if I know. I mean, good for them, because I really liked Streets of Rage 4. That was like one of those surprising games where it was on Game Pass. Tried it.
It was on Game Pass.
Tried it. I was like, this is really fucking good. And it was one of my favorite games that year. And now I'm excited for Teenage Mutant. I'm more excited for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles knowing it's them. Because if that trailer had dropped and it was just like a random indie studio, I was being like, look, because in my opinion, it's really cool. It's really easy to make a cool looking arcade game trailer, and you can get like, you know, you can get the art right and all those sorts of things. But then you go to play and it plays like shit or something like that. You know, like all the elements don't come together. But Streets of Rage 4 was actually really good, so I'm keen on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles now thing based on that. Or like it's too hard because they're trying too hard to be like an actual arcade game, where Streets of Rage had like, it had the right had difficulty settings, and like you could play it like super hardcore if you wanted to, or you know, like all these sorts of things. Like it was accessible or hard or controlled well or whatever else. I expect the same from that Turtles game. So anyway, they're now part of Focus Home Interactive, which publishes a lot of weird, I guess what you'd call AA sorts of games. So.
Well, they're probably most known recently for A Plague Tale.
Yeah. Yeah, they would be. I guess that's the most prominent game, yeah.
I guess most recent would be Hood Outlaws and Legends. Was the most recent one they published. So,
which, by the way, they added I think they added a new mode like a week ago. And I was like, maybe I'll check that out, but obviously I haven't had time. But because that was one of those, you know, that's a game where whatever I gave it, like a 6 or something, or I can't remember what I gave it. I don't know. I was like, it's okay, but much, you know, it's like that thing where I was bring up Days Gone as a perfect example, where I'm like, I actually really liked it, but I was like, there's just problems here. But I was like, I really like the premise and like the setting, you know, and the general vibe of Hood, like, you know, playing in that time period with this sort of like multiplayer co-op thing. It's like a really cool idea. Didn't fully come together. So I keep hoping that they'll keep working on it, and it could be really cool in the future if they keep adding stuff to it and fixing stuff. All right, shout out to this one because I thought this was worth mentioning. Well played. .com.au, shout outs. They write, originally only available for a Kickstarter, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla dice game, otherwise known as Orlog, will now be stocked by eBay Games, announced this morning. eBay Games is now taking pre-orders for the physical release of the highly addictive dice game at the completely reasonable price of 78 Australian dollars. There isn't a set release date at this stage, but according to eBay Games, orders will be arriving in December. The Kickstarter campaign for this project ended in late July and offered a number of different versions, but unfortunately for Aussies, the shipping was a killer. The version that eBay Games will be stocking is the base set, includes one designed cardboard box, 2 ABS dice balls, 32 real polished stone health counters, 50 tokens, 2 sets of 20 God Favor cards, 2 acrylic dice sets, and 1 game coin. If you're like, why are we talking about tabletop games? We don't usually talk about those in OK Couch. It's because it's a tabletop game that's a recreation of a game that's in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And if you play
it, a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. And I'll tell you right now, since it's probably a question, I kickstarted this. So I back this.
Oh, yeah.
I already kickstarted this. I've already got my money. I thought it was worth bringing up though, because it's not often that you do see these really cool things that are kickstarted actually then put in a physical store in Australia. Often,
especially not EB. Like EB is very
yeah.
You know, got to do what you got to do to get those brick and mortar stores to stay open. Eh?
And that's mostly what they sell. So let me pitch. I think this is actually cool, and this is something I've brought because A, it's just cool to own, but B, I definitely want to like play it because it's actually really fun. And if you haven't played Valhalla, it's a really simple but fun game where basically it's 1v1. You have like these die that have different symbols on them. It's like a hand, a sword, a shield. I can't remember all of them. Helmet, something else. It's been a while since I played it. And I think you roll like 5 or 6 or whatever it is. I can't remember, in like a cup, and they roll them out into this bowl thing. And then you've got to pick. You can pick any number of them to re-roll. I think it's like twice. It lets you re-roll twice. And you can pick which ones you want to keep. So if you've got like 2 or 3 helmets in there, you can pull those 2 or 3 helmets to the side, and now you're obviously trying to re-roll the rest to be helmets, because then you can have like a full thing of helmets and get like you'll get 5 points or whatever for that round. But then there's other things that come into play where if you roll, I think it's a hand, the hand lets you take a random one from your opponent or something like that, and then if any of them have like a symbol around them or gold or whatever, any of the shapes, they let you build up amount of gold, which you can use to act like a special ability or something like that. It's actually really simple because it's literally just rolling dice, and it is one of those mini games. It's been a while since I played a mini game. Obviously, Gwent would be the last one. Like Gwent was the last one. Yeah, and obviously they turned Gwent into a physical game as well. But this was the first mini game. And I don't think I ever talked about it on here because I didn't spend that much time talking about Valhalla because there was a lot happening because it was like the PS5 release or whatever.
It was like in the middle of everything.
Yeah, it was like a shitstorm. Like I was enjoying that game 5, but fine. But and I never actually finished it. Maybe I will one day. I don't really know. But 100%, I'll give credit where credit's due. That Orlog game in Assassin's Creed, I went out of my way to make sure I could just play it, and I definitely played it. Like I'd beat someone and I'd just replay it because I just wanted to kind of keep playing the game. Like it is a legit fun mini game. And as soon as I saw this go up on Kickstarter, I was like, I fucking need that shit in my life. So I grabbed it. I'm keen. Yeah. And it's cool. So shout outs to this. You can get it at EB Games in the future if you'd like. Did you like the game Orlog in the game, Kieran, when you was playing Assassin's Creed?
I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Between that and the one that was just shit talking each other, like those two,
the rap battles,
a lot of fun. The rap battles, we had to shit talk each other, but you were having to rhyme it and think about the rhyming structure of everything. I thought they were both great mini games and like both great sections of the game that led to the kind of that world feeling a lot more built out. So to have that be brought forward and to bring that into a physical game, I think it's great. I'm glad they didn't do the thing that Gwent did, which is like Gwent made a whole separate game for it, which is like, yeah, okay. I don't think this was big enough to do that, so to speak. But to have it spawn a physical tabletop game, even through Kickstarter, I think is really good. So I hope we see more of the same moving forward.
So the thing I brought was, I'm trying to work out how much it costs. So quick Google. It's in Canadian dollars. So that's all. I was like, interesting. Canadian to Australian. So probably that's not much. What? No way. I don't know. Anyway, I got the early bird backer thing, which says it was 40. Oh no, it tells you here. It tells me it's about 48 Australian dollars because it was the early bird one. You know how the early backer is always like $20 cheaper than the normal one. So I jumped on that shit. I was like, fuck yes, because I know it was like $20 difference or whatever. Plus, you get it's everything that EB Games will have. Plus, I get all unlocked stretch goals. And because they got like well over 100% funded, it's like a bunch of like extra like cool knickknacks or like other things like that. So I'm definitely happy. I wasn't like maybe not, maybe will, because yeah, if you get on those early, if you like something on Kickstarter, especially this sort of thing, and you get on those early ones and it actually gets fully funded and they've got like a bunch of cool stretch goals and stuff like that. I've had it happen to one other thing before. You're like quite happy with your money, I think, if you do it. So there we go. All right, PC Gamer. I just wanted to shout this out because it's just like I have a question to ask at the end of this, but they write, former Elder Scrolls devs announced grand RPG The Wayward Realms. Back in 2019, we learned that veteran developers Julian LaFay and Ted Peterson, leads on the Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall, had founded a new studio, Once Lost Games. At the time, they said they were working on a new RPG, though they didn't give out too many details and haven't said much since. Today, that silence was broken. Once Lost Games has announced The Wayward Realms, a single-player open-world fantasy RPG. That's exciting news, especially if you've been tapping your foot patiently for the Elder Scrolls 6 to arrive. Quote from the announcement said, The Wayward Realms is set on a group of over 100 realistically scaled islands, known collectively as the Archipelago, where scores of
Archipelago.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say Archipelago.
I missed the Go part. There you go. Archipelago, where scores of factions vie for influence and power. Kingdoms strive to maintain their dominance. Upstarts seek to earn a place at the top, and dynasties set generational plots into motion. Should the player earn a position of prominence, they may change the course of history. So it's there's like a trailer and everything you can watch. It's basically, you can feel the Elder Scrolls influence and stuff like that. It's massive. Obviously going to be a big open world, all these islands, fucking, you can control the fate of everyone. They're talking about there being so many NPCs and, you'll feel like you're living and breathing in the world. I gotta be honest, between this and like all these, I was thinking about it as I was reading this. I'm like, I feel like we entered a period where there was like fuck all of these types of games, like massive open world types of games. Like we had The Witcher, and then other than that, I was trying to think like what else is really even attempted or touched on that similar sort of thing. And now all of a sudden, we're about to get fucking slammed with the return of these massive things, open world games.
I feel like a lot of maybe all at the same time. Because we've got we've got Obsidians, we've got Elder Scrolls 6 eventually, which Elder Scrolls 6 is still a fair way off considering the
Outer Worlds 2, if they decide to make it bigger.
Gazillion.
Outer Worlds 2. I feel like maybe a bunch of game devs might have seen a hole in the creative market at this point in time and just thought, it's been so long since since Skyrim. It's now well along since we had The Witcher. It's about time that another one of these can exist, and I think maybe 2-3 years ago a bunch of developers all saw that and all started to get involved with that and pull it out and push it out further. I think the market is getting to a point where we are getting, like the game developing as a whole, we're getting to a lot of these kind of open world games, but they are the more, I wouldn't necessarily call them in the same light as your like high fantasy RPGs. They're more open world, but maybe at a bit of a smaller scale. They don't have, like, they're not quite the same in terms of like side quests and stuff. And we've got more on the horizon. You would expect the next God of War to be like that. You would expect the next Horizon is going to be like that. And I think a lot of these AAA games nowadays are these large open world games. And I think we've moved slightly away from these kind of more, I don't know how best to describe them, because they're more of an RPG than what I would say Horizon and God of War is. I think like Horizon and God of War's RPG systems are kind of secondary to itself, where these games hold their RPG systems at its forefront and kind of at the center of its gameplay. So yeah, I just think we're getting to that point where a whole bunch of game developers are coming to the end of their cycles, and they're all going to be coming out reasonably in succession of each other. And then you look back at 2006, 2007, when Oblivion came out, but alongside Oblivion was Two Worlds. And, nobody remembers Two Worlds. Some people know of Two Worlds just because you can make the villagers in the first area defeat the end boss and win the game early. But I think, everybody knows Elder Scrolls, everybody knows Oblivion. I think it's just a point in time where, there's definitely going to be quote-unquote winners and losers from whatever comes ahead and whatever comes out.
What do you reckon, Ash?
I mean, the more of these games available, the better choice people have, But I feel like everybody's kind of waiting for like Elder Scrolls 6, but if these are of a high enough quality, then they might just capture the attention while we wait the 20, 60 years that it'll take the Elder Scrolls 6 to come out.
That's true. 2055 is what I'm thinking for Elder Scrolls.
At the earliest.
That's true.
They've got to do Starfield, and then they've got to do Starfield 76, and then they'll finally do Elder Scrolls.
Starfield 76. Fucking hell. You muppet.
Starfield Dweller. No, what was it called?
What?
Starfield Shelter.
Okay. How do you forget the last name? You're the person who played the game probably the most in the world.
The most.
No one else has the platinum. PSN profiles, it's just you probably.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
When you platinum the Fallout Shelter, there was like an alarm, a silent alarm went off throughout Bethesda.
Someone did it.
Somebody's done it.
I'm sure there's people still playing Fallout Shelter.
Fucking losers.
Yeah, and they still haven't got platinum.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing.
Maybe not on PlayStation, but like on their phones and shit.
Yeah, okay, well. Talking about phones. This was...
Segue.
Yeah, thank you. Pokemon Go's biggest players call on Niantic to restore pandemic bonuses. So this was a thing that's been happening the past week that's been quite interesting to watch. Polygon writes, a campaign pressing Niantic to re-implement Pokemon Go bonuses and concessions made for social distancing and the COVID-19 pandemic gathered new momentum on Thursday with an open letter written by the game's biggest players and influencers and backed by large social media audiences. The letter, posted this morning on Pokemon Go subreddit The Sylph Road, is signed by 28 players with a combined Twitter following of 1.18 million. All of the signers, 4 of whom have large audiences larger than 100,000, posted the letter to their feeds at 11 a.m. EDT under the hashtag #HeroesNiantic. It was Twitter's 6th highest trending tag in the US as of the publication time. The letter lists 9 ways players have helped. Have been helped by Pokemon Go's pandemic accommodations, which made it easier for players to reach Pokestops, gyms from further away. Those gameplay bonuses ended with an update earlier this week. The Pokemon Go community was already concerned and organized by that time as Niantic's announcement of the rollback in June faced immediate pushback. They don't say it here, but it's been changed in New Zealand and the US currently is the two. Currently the bonuses are, as of recording, is still active in Australia and other places. They were like doing a slow rollout, but they did US and New Zealand first because apparently, I don't know, the most immunized, I think, is maybe the thing. I don't know.
Well, okay. New Zealand especially is very well off currently in positioning in terms of the overall pandemic. America's very much kind of
they're at the other end where they generally don't care.
Yeah.
The revision last week halved the distance at which players could spin Pokestops. Before the change, some had been able to spin gyms without leaving their homes. Thursday's open letter listed ways in which the pandemic changes were helpful to the community, not just in a way that made the augmented reality game easier or more convenient. In the post, it said many disabled trainers could now interact with locations that were previously excluded them from Pokemon Go community. Trainers with autism and sensory conditions could engage with the community from a more accommodating distance, allowing them to play with the community but not be overwhelmed by large crowds or triggering locations. In turn, the change fostered greater courtesy and respect to non-players in the community by way of not crowding or blocking entry to businesses, private property, playgrounds, emergency services, places of worship, or memorial, organizers wrote. The letter also noted that a November blog post from Niantic left Pokemon Go players with the impression, quote, this increased Pokestop interaction radius would be made permanent. Removal of this feature will and is impacting the community in countless negative ways, players wrote in the letter. We request that increased interaction radius remains a permanent quality of life change at Pokemon Go. The letter asked for a reply by Niantic by the end of day on August 9th. Niantic responded at the end of Thursday, telling players that it was putting together an internal cross-functional team to develop proposals designed to preserve our mission of inspiring people to explore the world together while also addressing specific concerns that have been raised regarding interaction distance. This group's findings and recommendations will be shared by the next in-game season change, which is September 1st. Niantic said, as part of this process, we'll also be reaching out to our community leaders in the coming days to join us on this dialogue. So I always knew this would fucking happen, and everyone's in the right for this. But the thing is, so they made all these changes because of COVID, but then the side effect of that was people realized that a bunch of these changes weren't only good because they didn't have to crowd around areas so much to play the game, which was good for COVID, but it also, as they're mentioning, it meant that a bunch of people who couldn't play before, or, you know, the stuff they mentioned was also good for them. So all of a sudden, everyone was like, wait, that's an option? You know, like, it's, you know, like, that's an option? I can, like, I'm someone who's like in a wheelchair or something, and like, I can not get down to where that Pokestop is in that, like, that section or whatever, and they're like, I can just be up here and I can spin the Pokestop or whatever. That was an option this entire time, and now they've taken it away, and people, I think rightfully, are kind of like, just fucking leave it, dude. Like, just leave it. I just, like, you want to change some stuff back or whatever, like, turn off the double, they halved the time it took for eggs to hatch because people weren't doing much walking. They, you know, increased XP for certain, you know, whatever. Change all that back after in your, like, rollback of COVID or whatever. But, like, there's definitely the stuff that the letter is mainly calling for, which is the distance of the Pokestops to be spun and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, why? It shouldn't even, in my opinion, it's like, just, I don't know why you need a fucking group to investigate it when literally the core group that's sort of helped make your game popular, like all the massive YouTubers and stuff, are like the ones who are literally your talking points for the public. They're like, fix it. So.
I will say, so the number that they listed is 1.7 million people were represented. Like, that was the follower coverage of it. Did you say that report?
It's total followers across all the biggest.
Yeah. Which is surprising, because I actually thought it would be more. Just with the size of some people, but...
Well, I mean, like, for instance, Trainer Tips, one of the biggest Pokemon Go YouTubers, 199.1k followers. I mean, it's a lot of followers, but it is a very niche YouTube audience, I guess. It's like Pokemon Go vlogger is a very sort of niche area, I guess.
Niche audience, yeah.
Or just Pokemon YouTuber, I guess.
When it's coming from these YouTubers, though, do you think it's coming purely from a place of wanting to support the people who are having these problems? Like, the people, I understand how it benefits people with disabilities, but surely for their content, it's a lot easier making content when they don't have to leave their house to do it.
No. Well, so a lot of them changed up their content because a lot of them just started doing Twitch streams because they could just remote raid and stuff like that. Which I guess is what they had to do. But I know for me personally, I much prefer, like, when Trainer Tips, for example, like, he's the person I've watched the most of, and I like his stuff the most because he does, like, quite well shot, usually, stuff. And when he could travel a lot, that was the engaging part of the thing. It was like, the travel vlog was the part I was, like, most interested in, weirdly, but it was like having that Pokemon Go be the gateway. I guess it's like watching a cooking show with a celebrity you like or something. You're like, I don't usually like cooking shows, but here's my gateway into why I'm finding this a bit more interesting than usual. So I personally would rather see everyone get back out there and do it. I really doubt for YouTubers, Pokemon Go YouTubers, being able to spin a couple stops around their house, the same, like, 3 around their house. There's no way they're going to keep the same audience retention and engagement just by doing those Twitch streams, especially since a lot of them do stream other stuff anyway. You know, like, they'll stream Pokemon Let's Go. They'll stream fucking, they're all streaming Pokemon, the fuck was that game called? What's the one that came out 2 weeks ago that was fucking talking about? The fuck?
Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, they're all streaming like Pokemon Unite now. You know, like, most of them are just Pokemon Go YouTubers in general, where Pokemon Go is their main...
Or Pokemon.
Yeah, they're all Pokemon fans, but Pokemon Go is usually their main content source. So I do think it's real. And I know, for instance, like, Trainer Tips dude, like, he's called Niantic out in their bullshit before. Like, he's made videos saying, like, eggs are... claiming that eggs are, you know, loot boxes, and he like, not a big fan of it, and says, like, and he's like, called for Niantic to change it and all this sort of stuff. Like he's not, if it's a thing of, like, what works best for their content and whatever else, no, I don't know. Like, because really, if they were worried, because a lot of the times Niantic has paid for these bigger YouTubers to be flown to places to do, when they do the Pokemon events in different countries and stuff. So really, if they wanted what's best for their career, they would shut the fuck up and just, not actually stick up for.
But even then, at the same time, like, the whole eggs and loot boxes is interesting considering. Is there no way? There's no way to make your eggs hatch quicker, is there, other than walking? Correct?
Yeah, you can.
There's no.
You can buy you can buy super incubators that hatch them at half the speed.
All right. Right.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so I mean, it's been interesting to watch because I know it was popping off this whole week, and then Niantic's like, oh, at least they responded in a somewhat timely manner. But then we're gonna wait all the way until September 1st to see. It's like a whole month. It's a whole month to find out what the hell they're gonna do. All right, let's talk about what we've been playing. 2 things. Ash.
Yes.
Did you fall on some guys?
I have been falling on some guys.
Love to hear it.
I've been and also playing some video games. Okay. I've jumped back into Fall Guys Season 5. This big jungle themed season. Really kind of jumped in because I wanted the Ratchet and Clank content.
How do I get it? I haven't looked into it so much.
Well, Ratchet's already done.
Fuck!
You have to play through. You have to play the game. That's what you have to do, You can still get the Clank stuff. I didn't get all the Ratchet stuff, I will say. I got like the first 3 or something. It's like anything else. You just have to clear a bunch of different tasks. Clear so many levels, get silvers and gold medals in different race events and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, the games continue to grow and add more levels in this stuff. They've added 6 new levels or rounds this season, all jungle themed, which are all really fun to play. They've got cool skins and that kind of stuff. They've added like proper trios and duos modes as well. So I don't know. I didn't really jump into that stuff because they were
limited time. Like every time they did the duos or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit more where it's a point system. So depending on how well you do, you get more points, and then you qualify through points, at least until the final round, from what I can tell. And when it's just like whoever's last man standing wins it for their squad. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Jumping in, I got Clank. I got all the Clank content. No, actually, I've still got one more thing to unlock because I need to qualify out of a teams round. And there's like so many different of these single rounds. It's very hard to get a team round at the moment. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. A lot of the cool rounds for this season are really good. They've got some interesting race courses. Yeah, I think if you've fallen off of Fall Guys, you should jump back in.
Fuck.
Dive back in.
So the important thing is that you can actually get into the game.
Yes, I could actually get into the game. So
that's important.
Has that been a problem for people?
Maybe when I'm playing with you, I get shadow banned.
It's been a problem for us every time we try and stream Fall Guys over the last like 6 months, and we can never get a fucking game. So
it's any of the special events, like special shows, like that they do. Those I struggle to get a match in, but just your base round, your base main game show, seem to get in pretty easily. I think obviously crossplays kind of help with that. I see a lot of Steam fake usernames popping up against. So yeah, really good.
Cool. I'm good because I remember watching the trailer and being like, "Oh, this actually looks like that Epic money," and they got some like legit new modes that aren't just like slight changes to the ones they had last season, but all looked rather different this season. So it's good to hear. And all I've got to talk about is I can talk about the first 12 levels I've played of Golf Club Wasteland, which is coming out, I think, it's like the official release date's now like early September, I can't remember off the top of my head anyway. It is a quirky golf. It's like side scroller golf game. Is that what we'd call it? I don't even know what the fuck we'd call it. It's a side scrolling type golf game where the setup is this. The setup's the funnest part. It's that Earth went to shit. They don't really fully explain.
So like it currently is.
Yeah. It's very much like environmental disaster paired with like we probably just like all like I can't spoil. Not spoil it. It's like obviously there's like some storytelling happening because you're playing golf on Earth, but it's a wasteland. Hence the name, Golf Club Wasteland. But you're in a spacesuit because you're the remnants of the remaining humans who, when Earth started going to shit, the richest people were able to pay to head up to Mars and stay on a place called I can't remember. It's like Tesla Station, I believe, is the name or something like that. So
sounds realistic.
Yeah, sounds. You want to read into that one and go
Tesla Virgin.
Yeah,
Atlantic.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So because these rich people have nothing else to do because they're stuck in space or whatever else, they decide that they can pay or whatever, and you can come back down to Earth and you can play golf on Earth through the destroyed wasteland that is now Earth. But the other cool thing about the game is like it's fun to play like as a golf game. You know, it's pretty simple or whatever. But yeah, it looks cool. The levels look cool. You've got this like sort of storytelling happening in the background as to what exactly happened to Earth, like what we do to it, and that sort of stuff, which is fun. But the other thing that's really cool is you have like obviously your character has headphones on, and they're listening to like, hello, welcome to. You got like this radio announcer doing like a whole welcome to Earth. Look back on Earth days or something like that. He's like, let me play you some classic Earth tracks, and you'll like listen to an entire song or like 2 entire songs or whatever. And then he'll come back and be like, all right, now we've got an interview with so-and-so. And I'll have this interview with someone talking about how they were an oil worker on Earth and explaining stuff or whatever. Like how hard he had it and all this sort of stuff and how he managed to get off and what it's like living on Mars now or whatever else. And then every now and then the announcer dude will also be like, now, I think I had one just before where it was like, I know some of you don't like it, but you just got to remember you can only have showers over 30 seconds, and that's like the most amount of water that you can use on Mars right now. And we are looking into other ways, but we're just trying to find out if we can use like rat piss type showers with, and if that's like ethical, like if that's gonna, like it's like you're listening to this whole like sort of weird radio thing in the background at the same time. It's quite fun. So it is more than just like this simple sort of looking golf game. The golf part's fun, but what I'm finding to be the best part of the game so far is just this radio thing or whatever storytelling thing that's happening in the background. But the golf part's fun enough as it is. The levels obviously do get harder as you go along, but they're not super hard. And also you get difficulties. So I'm just playing it on the story mode, which is that just get it in the hole. Like you don't have to get it down a certain amount of strokes. You're not going to get game over if you take too many and if you fucking like I accidentally hit it in the water in this one section like 5 times in a row because apparently I'm just terrible at any and all golf video games. And it pops up. It's like, do you want to skip this level? I'm like, no, fuck off. I hate when games do that. I'll do it. Just let me fucking do it.
You die once. Are you wanting to drop down? Do you want to
change the difficulty or something like that? I'm like, no.
Like, what the fuck?
Leave me alone.
I just fucked up once.
Yeah. But you can also play it on a like. I can't remember. There was like a middle difficulty that was unlocked from the start where you do like it gives you like proper golf where you got to try and get it under whatever certain score or whatever else. And then I think there was a third difficulty that said unlocked when you beat that challenge mode or whatever. And that one's apparently like hardcore, I don't know, Iron Man mode or some shit like that where I don't know, you probably have to do anything in even less holes. So I know there's 35 levels or something like that. So it's a relatively short game, I guess, because it's probably going to take you a few hours to beat, which works given the concept of the game and the fact you're listening to this like radio thing at the same time and whatever else. But I'm enjoying it, and I'll look forward to telling you that hopefully the rest is as good, and you can look for that review and whatever else me talking about on here early September or whenever the fucking review embargo is. I actually don't know. Don't know if I could tell you even if I did know. But I don't know. I don't even know what the review embargo is, to be honest. Yeah, looks cool. Ash, you love golf games.
Yep.
What do you reckon? Look at this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a unique look and style, and obviously a story mode makes it a little bit more engaging and makes it stand out from just your basic golf.
Golf.
If you want to play golf, you got your PGA and you got your Mario Golf and you got your everybody's golf. So,
and what the golf
story? What the golf?
Shout out to Mario Golf adding New Donk City as well. By the way.
Yeah, I heard they added Toadette as well.
Yeah, Toadette and New Donk City. Yep.
Yeah. More content.
For free.
It's crazy. It's crazy, Nintendo.
Doing good. All right. Golf. Good times. Not good times. I hate golf games now. After that stream where we played it, it's fucking bullshit.
Strategy.
Yeah, pick. It's literally like spamming fucking Liu Kang's fucking backflip, basically.
I didn't know he had that power.
Fucking cheater. You should have stopped using it after you realized it was stupid. Is what you should.
He's the person that like starts Street Fighter and either picks, I can't remember the guy's name, but you just spam the one button and he goes to lightning and nobody can touch him if they try and kick him, or you just low kick people forever. You just low kick. Forever low kicking. Ashley going low. That's not something new around here, is it, Dylan?
Phrasing. That'll do it for this week's episode of Arcade Couch. Let us know any comments, questions, concerns you have by either tweeting at us or joining our Discord. Join our Discord by heading to explosionnetwork.com/Discord. You can tweet at us finding all our Twitters, explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. If you liked this episode and thought it was worth $1, you can head on over to explosionnetwork.com/support. That takes you to our Ko-fi page, or you can drop $1 or set up a monthly recurring amount for $1 and or more. That would be great. And until next week, same time, same couch. More. Booyah. Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at explosionnetwork.com, and please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.